Hello, my name's Maria and you're watching The Richardson Simple Living, and today I thought I'd just do a bit of a rundown through plans we'd made for 2024 and did we keep any of them, and plans that we're hoping to do this year 2025. Now, I never do New Year's resolutions because I'm hopeless with them. I used to do them many years ago, all the usual ones, going to lose weight and this, that and the other, and I never stuck to any of them. So we don't do resolutions anymore. What we do is make plans, things that we'd perhaps like to do throughout the year, and we jot them all down. Some things we do, some things we don't. So I thought I'd just run through them with you, as I tend to do this at the beginning of every year. And I can't go shopping today. We're actually flooded in. Not our house isn't flooded, but round about us, we live in it was a rural village, not so rural these days because they're building everywhere. But we're in the countryside, a village in the countryside, and everywhere is flooded. You can't seem to go anywhere. And everywhere where we go shopping is definitely flooded, and cars can't get through the closed roads down, so it's not going to be a shopping day today. So I thought perfect time to go through the plans, and I'll sit and chat to you about the plans. So I've made a few notes, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I did have a look through my plans for last year. I looked through the vlog to see what I'd actually said. I had a rough idea what I'd said because I'm pretty much the same this year, so I had a look. So first of all, I was concerned with growing vegetables in the garden. That was a priority because we don't have a lot of money coming in, because Dean's retired. We don't have pensions or anything like that. So we tend to grow most of our own food throughout summer, then freeze what we can and preserve what we can. I wanted to do more of that last year, but last year was a real flop in the garden. The weather was terrible. It got off to a bad start with rain and wet weather, so I'm hoping this year isn't going to be the same, because today isn't looking good. But it continued last year through the growing season. It put everything back. We had lots of slugs and things attacking things. Things didn't grow like they normally grow. So we need to put more thought into that. So last year we didn't achieve what we wanted to, not on the bulk we wanted to anyway. We have plenty of onions. We've still got onions that last us all year. We've got beetroot that will last us all year. But we can't live on onions and beetroot. So we've got to think more about that this coming year. So where that's concerned, gardening, so talking about the coming year, we're still going to have that same plan. We still want to grow as many vegetables as we can, but I think we're going to have to review how we grow things. The weather does get worse. I mean, for an example, my husband was a window cleaner. He still does one day a month, but he was a full-time window cleaner. Now, when he started window cleaning, over 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the person who helped him start and set him off with rounds and things like that had said to him, don't worry about rain. You're lucky if you get one wet day a week. And then it was true. Now you're lucky if you get one dry day a week. So where the gardening's concerned, you've got to think about that as well, because I'm thinking, would we be wise to do some polytunnels? Get some little polytunnels. I mean, those of you who have seen my garden, you've seen I've got garden boxes, which I grow in boxes. Would I be better taking them out and putting a couple of polytunnels in and growing them so that I can sort of stabilise temperature and weather and things like that? And also another thing I want to do is concentrate on soil. I was saying to Dean the other day, says I want to learn to do proper compost heaps, because we've always done compost. We've got compost bins and we've always done compost, but I just chuck all my stuff in. But I want to concentrate a bit more on that, learn a bit more about the compost inside of it and make our own compost as well. So I think as well, another thing, because we did greenhouse things, we did tomatoes and we did cucumbers in the greenhouse. Now, nothing changed with them. They started off in the greenhouse, they stayed in the greenhouse. So the weather that we had should not have affected them in any way. But they didn't grow. They just didn't grow. The only difference with them is different compost. They've changed all the compost. Is it they've took the peat out or something? I don't know. But they've changed all the compost, and it just didn't seem to have the nutrients in the compost to do the plants. So I want to learn more about compost. That's something I want to do. I want to concentrate on. I know I said last year I'd had enough of the garden last year. I wanted to just pack it in. I'm happy just to go and travel. Just put a bag in the car and go travel around and not be in one place all the time, because I'm not keen on always being stuck in one place. But I always seem to be stuck in one place. But yeah, but I was thinking, I do need to have another go at it, really. I do need to, because I've always been conscious about what I eat. And I eat junk sometimes, lots of times I eat junk, and even with the best intentions. And I'm always thinking back to when I was a child and the food we ate then, so much different than the food we eat now. I mean, you can have the same type of dish, but somehow it just doesn't taste the same, just isn't the same. And I want to work more on reproducing meals that we used to eat without all the junk in them. I want to start cooking from scratch again. I used to do a lot of cooking from scratch. I mean, when my children were younger, the first lot, because there were 7 of us then, and we didn't have a lot of money then, I cook most things from scratch, big batches of things. So I'm thinking, well, if I go back to doing big batches, even if there's not enough of us in the house to eat it all, it can be frozen. I've got enough freezers where I can freeze extra batches of food. So that would be a lot better, and I think I need to concentrate more on that this year. Flowers, I did say I was going to turn all my things into flowers. Well, I do want to do more flowers, because I want to do flowers for my grave runs. I take care of 5 graves, and flowers is very costly, which is strange to me, because like spring flowers aren't too expensive. Get your daffodils and you can get nice bunches for 89p, and it's not a problem then buying 5 bunches of them, and they last ages. If you get them when they're in the bud, they last ages, weeks, and they're really good value for money. So I'm thinking, well, I don't really need to grow them because I can get them cheap enough. It's just summer flowers that are expensive. And that amazes me, because why are summer flowers so expensive? Because in summer, don't you think they should be in abundance? Flowers are everywhere. They're in abundance. They grow nice in summer and plentiful. So I'm thinking, why are they so expensive then? So yeah, I do want to grow more flowers. I'm thinking like maybe doubling up on dahlias down the front drive. I want sweet peas like I had last year. If any of you have seen any of the garden collab videos I did last year, one of them I showed I've got beautiful sweet peas, but they don't last long. You've got to be quick with them. So I want to do some sweet peas again, and cut flowers. I want to see what more cut flowers there are and concentrate on doing some cut flowers, and perhaps fit them in like borders and things like that, and I can use them for the graves when I do all my grave runs. So yeah, I do want to do more flowers, definitely want to do a lot more flowers, but I don't want to let go of all the vegetables just yet. If I just do a few vegetables, things that are harder to get or more expensive to get in the supermarkets, like runner beans, when they're out in season, you get loads of them, but when they're not, you're having them imported from abroad and they're really expensive and that. Now, runner beans grow loads and loads of them in the garden, so they're great to grow and freeze what I'm not using, so I can eat them out of season as well, and they're not traveling anywhere. So yeah, so that's something that I want to be more aware of. Another thing I want to be more aware of where food's concerned is what's going in food. I mean, that seems to be a big issue at the moment, but it's something I've always thought of for years and years. It's something I've often discussed with my brothers and things like that, what goes into food. And we have chats about things like that. And, I don't like all the different things that they inject into things. And now there's all this latest controversy over the bova that's going into milk. Well, the dairy herds are having it and it'll affect the milk. So I'm thinking, and we need to go more organic. We do need to be more organic. And I think like an example I always think of to myself, and I know it's not necessarily the case, but I always think like, I've got an auntie, she's 96 years old, she'll be 97 this year, quite healthy, goes shopping to the supermarkets and goes running around here, there and everywhere. But they owned a butcher's shop. They had a butcher's shop and they had all fresh meats and everything. Didn't eat a lot of desserts and things like that. Grew up in the countryside because my great-grandparents and grandparents had like a countryside house. It was a bit like a little homestead. Got everything there, massive grounds, everything. Even got stream running through where they had produce from the stream. So she's a really healthy lifestyle, and always think she that all this meat, they've got nothing in the meat. She would never touch processed food. She was very wary about things like that. So when she's in the supermarket, she's not buying processed food or anything like that. I normally see around about the toilet roll sections, that kind of areas, and yeah, she's sort of always healthy, and I always think, oh, there must be something in it. There's got to be something in it. I mean, not necessarily. I've heard of people who have drunk, smoked, and ate junk all their lives and lived to be 100. I mean, so there's not necessarily anything in it. But I just keep thinking that, keep thinking that. But I am a bit concerned about what goes into food, and I think that's something I'm going to focus on more this year, where money allows it anyway. What I can do or will do. Growing veg is one of those things, and another thing with growing veg is the seeds are used. A lot of them are. What are they called? They're not the pure purebred seeds, whatever they call them. They're not. I can't think of the word of it. You perhaps know what I mean. But you get like heritage seeds that haven't been contaminated or cross-seeded or anything like that. So they're more the seeds I want to aim for, rather than all the packet seeds in supermarkets and places that a lot of them are cross-seeded. You can get heritage ones amongst them, just a case of looking what's what. It's a bit dearer to buy from the off, but the thing is, if you seed save, you can keep it going then, and it won't cost nothing in future seasons. So that's something I want to do more of this year, be more wary of what I eat and see what I can swap gradually, bit by bit, and do that. Last year, we had hens, but they were older hens, and we took them to a farm. They've gone to live in a farm with other hens, and we were saying about we'd get some young ones. We didn't get the young ones. We still haven't got the young ones, and I was saying, I don't think I'll bother with any more. But now I'm rethinking it, thinking, well, might get a couple of hens just to get some fresh eggs from, and eggs are good for you as well. I don't eat enough protein. That's my trouble. So yeah, I do want eggs, and to have fresh eggs every morning is really nice. There is a big difference in the eggs that you get from the supermarket from when you're going out and getting them yourself. Something else I can do. So yeah, I'm thinking about putting them where the ducks are, having them run together. So they may be all right. You can put ducks and hens together, no problem. So I'm thinking about that. The only thing is the duck bit is a bit sludgy because they love all wet and the muck, and they're happy in it, but I don't think it'd be so good for the hens. I might have to concrete some of it and just maybe leave a small mucky area for the ducks, so I'm not upsetting them. But yeah, that's something to sort out in spring. I was talking about herbs last year. I want to do more herbs and maybe do herb boxes for the rabbits and animals. I was thinking about doing that. I didn't do that, and I don't think I want to do that now. Herbs, yes, but only the herbs that we're going to be using in things, and I'll probably grow them in little pots on the back patio. So that's what I'm thinking. May change, but that's what I'm thinking. Last year we were talking about hoppities, which was a business we we're going to start off looking after small animals. Originally we were having grooming rabbits with it, but Sean didn't really want to groom rabbits because I got it with her in mind for a job for her to set her up, but she wasn't so keen and she wasn't too fussed about the boarding and that. So we're not going to be doing that for now because Sean's got other ideas about working with animals and things like that. She wants to, she's interested in training dogs and young puppies and things like that. She's interested in dog training and animal welfare and that kind of thing. So we're thinking of doing some courses for her sixth form years, doing some courses on animal welfare and all different kinds of animal things that we can do with her, and getting her some, for a first part of her sixth form years, getting her some voluntary work to get all that under her belt while she's doing some courses, so she can build things under her belt. And then for the second part of the sixth form year, which is it? Year 12 is the first part, year 13 is the second part, then maybe we might be able to look towards see if we can get in a little apprenticeship or something like that, ready to sort of start working, whether she sets something up herself or whether she gets a job with somebody. But that's what we're looking at the moment with Sean, and that's where the animal situation is with her. Let's have a look then. Oh yeah, and with that, we're also going to carry on running her English and the maths alongside. Now, she was thinking about going to college, but there wasn't any courses appropriate that she really wanted there. The closest thing that she might have liked would have been art, but that wouldn't have led her into what she was really interested in. And she'd have run maths and English alongside there because she doesn't want to do a GCSE, but she can do functional, because maths she wouldn't be able to do GCSEs because that's a big struggle for her, but she can do functionals, and she can do functional exams at home. So we may look at that, but that'll all be for her sixth form years. At the moment, she's working in there. She's doing German today, English, and she's doing some maths today, actually. So yeah, that's that. Last year I was talking about selling. I was umming and ahhing about setting up some selling from home, because I do sell our own things, and that can make a bit of money. But if you're selling for a business, then you've got to buy stuff in. It's a bit more costly when you're buying and selling, and it's a bit time consuming, and I don't think I could be doing that all of the time. And rules and regulations keep changing on all these selling sites, and you've got to do an awful lot of it, and it'll take up all the time to just make a bit of money. So I think I'm happier just having clear outs and just selling our own stuff, and thinking of that because eBay is changing their rules again from the 4th of February, that I'm thinking, well, I would like to do car boots, actually, or even have yard sales. It'd be nice if we get a few other people in the village interested in yard sales, and perhaps have set dates for yard sales. Or go off to car boots, but yard sales are better because you're not having to go driving off anywhere to do anything. You just set up on your own front and you can have a wander around the village. So that would be quite nice as well, quite a community thing. And you're selling your stuff off at the same time. Probably not, you couldn't get as much for it as you perhaps would on eBay, but then again, you haven't got all your selling fees or anything like that. So that would be quite nice, because I'm continuing to have a sort out. I've been sorting some cupboards out. We packed the decorations away yesterday and the day before, with a couple of days, and I've sorted cupboards out while we've been doing it, because I want to move things around, make more space, because that's good for you as well. When I see clutter, I mean, I'm surrounded by clutter at the minute, but when you see clutter, you feel down and depressed. It really sets your anxiety off. It's not good. So I want lots of space, and we don't need all this stuff. Do you know, this Christmas, we didn't have as much as we normally have. Normally we get spoilt, we have big presents and lots of things and that. And sometimes you get bought lots of things just for the sake of it, because you don't know what to get, because you want to keep filling the stockings, things like that. But this year, everybody's cut down and got less. And it's been lovely, because we've had just what we needed. We've just had things we needed, and it's really nice. And I don't feel like I've got all this stuff and, I don't really want that, or I don't know what to do with it, or that's so big, it's going to take up so much space. It's just things we needed. Yes, we've had nice things, like Dean's had games for his system, and I've had some books to read and candles to burn and things like that. But they're all things that I'll do, small things and things that I like, and I'm not overwhelmed with it all. And it's been really nice. More like when we were children and you did only have a bit. So all this buying everything all the time is just, it's just not good. It's just bad, really. So yeah, small amounts is really good, and it's been really nice. So yeah, so that's where the selling is. I would never do selling full time. Selling my own stuff to get rid of, yes, and things that people have grown out of and no longer want. I think the dog's barking at the postwoman. And I'd like to do some car boots, or yard sales would be nice if you could organise yard sales. That'd be something sort of for the summer onwards, from spring onwards into summer. Be quite nice. So at the moment, what we're doing, we're boxing things up, putting them into the black shed. So we've got boxes of stuff. So wherever we go to sell them, we've got them to hand. Travelling wise, I am a bit of a nervous traveller. I never used to be. I used to go anywhere at all, take myself off anywhere, never ever be in one place. But over the years, I've gone a bit of a nervous person with that. I've suffered nerves, so I find it difficult to go out sometimes. But we've had our National Trust memberships renewed. My son and my daughter-in-law have been renewing them for the last couple of years, which is a really lovely gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it, all year round? So we'll go off to some houses, and again, like we do a lot of filming actually at Colcabby and Shugborough at Christmas when we did the trees. So we do go there quite a lot. So we'll see what else is round and about that we can go to. So yeah, we'll be doing that again. So yeah, they're things that we've sort of done last year, but things that we just want to improve on this year. So I'm looking what else we've got. So my YouTube channel. What am I doing with my YouTube channel? Well, I'm keeping it. I don't know if I'll do as much shopping on it. I don't know really, because it's having the money and we don't have an awful lot of money. But yeah, we'll still be doing shopping hauls when I do go shopping. Maybe I'll feature a bit of cooking when I'm doing batch cooking, and as I go back to basics, what I'm cooking. So it'll be just, to some people it might be plain boring food, but I'm not into all this fancy stuff and tons of spices and herbs. I'm not into that. But yeah, you probably watch me go back to basics or talk about it or what I've been doing, keep you updated on what I'm doing. I will still continue to do the garden collab, providing Victoria is doing it, because last year there was 3 of us doing it, and I think somebody made a guest appearance on Victoria's. So there's 3 of us. So whoever wants to join in that this year can, and we'll still do it. And I'll show you the garden anyway, produce, because it's not just produce you buy in the shops. What I've got from shopping hauls. What about gardening hauls when I get food from there, and what I'm going to do with it? So yeah, I'll do that as well. What else shall we be doing? We'll do a bit of all sorts, really. We'll have chatty vlogs, and sometimes we might have question answer vlogs if the occasion arises. One thing I was thinking about doing, I did one when I first started my channel, and then I took it down, but I did a Facebook page for the Rich and Simple Living. Now I'm thinking about getting that back. So like some of you say to me about things you're doing or things you've done, so I wish I could show you a picture, and I was I wish I could see. So I thought if you've got Facebook, maybe that's a way to connect, because you can put pictures up on there and I can see what you've been doing, everybody else can see, and we can all chat together on there, sort of thing. And yeah, I can just update you like a little diary, really, just anything we do that day. I'm not very good at keeping up with social networking pages though. I mean, I'm not from this era of social networking. In my day, we're lucky if you had a home telephone, you just go to a kiosk. So yeah, but I thought it might be nice. Might start the page back up again. I'll let you know if I do, and what I've called it. And then if many of you have got Facebook, just let me know if any of you got it, because none of you got it. There's not much point, is there? But yeah, we could perhaps do a Facebook page. I had thought about other things, like a lot of people do all this Instagram, but I think it's quite a lot for me to try and keep on top of it all then. I need to sort of get going on what I've got first. So yeah, I think that's my plans for this year. They're not huge. I keep saying I'm going to move house as well. I want to move house. I want to clear off. Get somewhere that's not so closed in by people. Bit of space, a bit more ground, but I don't think that will happen this year. Well, really, I would probably put it on hold till Sean is 18 anyway, so we've got a couple of years yet if I'm going to do it at all. But yeah, need to make use of what I've got first. So I can hear somebody in the kitchen. I don't know what they're doing. I can hear them rattling. Have you got sweets in that kitchen? Oh, you got biscuits. You've opened the biscuits. I thought I could hear secret rattling. He's opened the, what have you got, the shortbread.
Yeah.
I was hoping I didn't hear him, you see. I thought it sounded a bit. Got good ears, me. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for this year, really. Pretty much the same as last year. Just keep on with the gardening. I will do a bit more veg. I'll try and do things that I'm going to eat rather than just chuck anything in. Because I've been known to see seeds and think, oh, they look good, and buy them. And I'm growing things that don't really, I'm not going to use. So I'm going to try and get menus done. I'm always saying this, and I'll start and then I run out of ideas. But do you know what it is? I try and think of like a month's worth or something like that, and all different. And it doesn't always work that way. What I should do is just do a week's worth, and I can build from there over time. So I tend to go in at the deep end. So I need to just jot a week of ideas down. And I don't want it to be junk food. I want it to be, well, if it is junk food, it's healthy junk food from scratch, if you know what I mean. Like if you make your own burgers and things like that, I want it to be like that rather than all shop bought stuff. But it's a gradual changeover, and I think that's half my problem. I try and jump in straight to the end goal rather than work up to that end goal, and so I do need to start at the beginning. So yeah, that's really what I tend to do this year. Well, I'd like to do, like I say, my garden. We're steering Sian with animals for a career, what she wants to do. We nearly enrolled her at college, but then she is keen to try the animals and get some courses on them. So I said, well, at least if that doesn't work, there's still the second year that you can go and enrol at college and do a year at college if you want or what have you. So there's options there. Well, you can enrol any time, but you'd have to pay for it after that year, you know. So yeah, some herbs out the back that we're going to use, grow veg that I'm going to eat, plenty of flowers, or at least on the way to growing plenty of flowers, build up over the years in as many gaps as I can, and my borders on the front's a good starter. Dahlias, I wouldn't mind having a go at chrysanthemums. I've never tried them. And trying to seed save as much as I can. Didn't save as many last year, but I think it's because the weather kept going a bit funny, because you need it dry really to be able to get your seeds. Whereas the year before I got loads and loads and loads, too many of them. Compost is something I want to sort of look into and work on and learn more about. I don't like things that are too technical and too fancy. It has to be in layman's terms for me and be doable, you know. And yeah, probably do some visitings out and about. See if we can do some yard sales or anything like that, car boots, yard sales, that kind of thing, so we can declutter, and that will make us more space in the house, because we haven't got a lot of room in our house at the moment. So try and make as much space as we can. And social media, carry on with YouTube. We'll still do the videos that we're doing. We'll do some cooking from scratch. We'll do shopping and show you things I'm growing. And we'll see if we can also do a Facebook page. Let me know your thoughts on the Facebook page, whether you do Facebook, whether you'd be interested in, you know, me having one if you do it. So that's it. Oh, and it just leaves me to thank you all for watching, and thank you all for subscribing, because I did have a look at my subscriber count, and I know last year, well, just after Christmas, just between Christmas New Year, I hit 1,000 subscribers. So a year ago. So now, well, when I last looked, I think it has gone up 1 or 2 since I looked when I wrote my notes out, day before yesterday, or whenever it was. Every day's the same these days. It is at 2,684. So I've had a gain of 1,684 subscribers over this year, and that's a great achievement, and I think that's brilliant, and that's all thanks to you people. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll gain more as the years go on. Perhaps we'll get a bit more interesting. But I do think, yeah, you know, like with food and things we do and everything, and involve you a bit more with everything, and hopefully you'll enjoy being with us. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you now on the next one. That's something else I've got to try and do, and I would like to try and film at least 3 times a week, or 2 at least. I go sort of all in and then I tail off, but I think it's because I don't always go shopping, and either can't go or I've got no money to go. So we'll do something else if we can't do that. That's a secret, isn't it? So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you now on the next one, and until then, take care. Bye.